morning. Good morning. One year on this week, the third Sunday of Advent, we had this tradition, which the cathedral also has, of having people come up and light the candles on the Advent wreath. And there was a little girl who was about 5 or 6 years old who came up with her mother. And we explained, we light the 2 blue and the pink. And she came up and she lit the 2 blue, and then she skipped over the pink. It was chaos. Trying to light the 3rd blue. Because she said, the pink is just too pretty. I don't want to ruin it. So what is the deal with the pink candle that we light on this 3rd Sunday of Advent? Why do we do it? Well, just like with a lot of other things in the church, there are multiple explanations for why we do anything. One explanation is that pink, or more precisely rose, technically is rose is the color of joy, while blue or purple is a color that is more associated with things that are serious, which is why bishops often wear purple, because they're very serious people. And so it's good at this time to mix in a little bit of joy with all the seriousness of life. Pink also represents the Virgin Mary, and we today will hear at some point the story of the Magnificat at the 10:15 service. If we hear that, we'll hear the Magnificat, we'll sing it. And this is Mary's great story of her joy upon realizing that she is going to give birth to the Messiah. There's also a story that on the 3rd Sunday of Advent, the Pope would give long ago, the Pope would give one faithful person a single pink rose to thank them for their faithfulness. And the clergy and the cathedral, the congregation would be decorated with pink. So there are various explanations for why we have pink, but the question I'm more interested in is why pink this week? Why don't we always celebrate joy? Why don't we light candles of joy every single Sunday? After all, we're born, we're baptized into Jesus Christ, which is in and of itself a joyful thing, and we are hopefully looking for a life of eternal and bountiful, boundless joy. So we should be lighting pink every week. The truth is, as we know, that the Christian life is not all joyous. Just like any life is not all joyous. There are all sorts of experiences we have in this life. And sometimes you light candles for joy, but sometimes you also light the candles for sorrow. You'll light some candles in your life for happiness, but you'll also light a bunch of candles for tears. And there are some candles that we light for triumph, but we all have a bunch of candles that we light for failure. Some we light for utter and complete failures. It's not just one experience that we have in this life, but perhaps thousands or tens of thousands of different experiences in the full spectrum of what God gives a human being. And often, it seems to me, amidst all of our experiences, we are like that little girl who wants to just skip over the joy. We often just skip over our joy. We don't take the time to embrace it, to live with. Joy is one of the fleeting things in life that once you have, as sure as you have it for 1 second, the next second you go on to another blue candle. Does that seem to anyone that the news, there's a lot of gloom, there's a lot of despair in the world, there's not a lot of joy? So in a sense, this Advent wreath might be an accurate depiction of what life is really like. About a quarter, more or less, of what we have is good news. The rest is kind of weighing on us. The Advent wreath in another way is like life because it's this circle. And it often seems like we are just trapped in this circle of going over the same things again and again, like that rotary in East Long Meadow where you just don't know how to get off. How do I get off without hitting someone else? And so one way of looking at the pink candle in the sea of blue candles is that the pink candle actually points us toward an end. It is lit on the 3rd, the penultimate Sunday of Advent, pointing toward an end when Advent is going to finish and the Lord will be here and we will finally light the white candle of Jesus Christ. The pink candle is like John the Baptist. We hear this week as well, of saying something is coming, that it's not just this endless circle of week after week, but that something is coming and Jesus Christ will be here. And on that day, you know what will happen, that the oppressed will get good news, the brokenhearted will be bound up, the captives will be set free, and those who mourn Be comforted, for on that day the Lord's candle will light the world around us and will shine in all of our hearts. In the Gospel according to John, chapter 11, Jesus says to his followers, he says, I'm telling you these things so that your joy may be complete. What a great notion, that this idea of being complete. And that too is what happens at the wreath when all the candles are finally lit. You light the white because it's complete. I knew a fellow in California who was deployed in the army, who was overseas in Iraq, and he tells the story of the day he returned back from being overseas for a couple of years, and he went to the airport and he met his family and they picked him up, and it was such a joyful thing. And then he went home and he got out of his car and he walked into his house. And he said, now I know what it means to be complete. I'm done with that. Or if you're a college student, this is the week, right? Usually you just hand in your final papers, you finish the final exam, and you're complete that day. Or if you run a marathon, something I will probably never do. But after you've crossed that, 27-mile mark, you've run that race, you're complete. The circle is ended, and you're ready to go on to the next day. What an amazing, joyful experience. So much of life is still just hanging over us. There are so many things in our life that are unresolved, and you know how hard it is to go out there, and you make the best of it without anxiety or anger or despair. Perhaps what we can do is just to say, you know what, today at my church we lit a candle for joy. That's what I'm going to do in my own life. It's a radical stand. Light something for joy, and not for fear, for anger, or for despair. But to say, you know what, I'm going to be as joyful as I can be, for heaven is still perhaps a long way off, and I still have a lot to deal with, and the world is still perhaps screwed up in lots of different ways. There's so many blue candles out there to light, but today I'm going to realize that there's this white candle that's so close to me, and as soon as I get there, I will be complete. And he will scatter the darkness, and he will set the prisoners and the downtrodden and the oppressed, and me will all be